baby, just do your little dance and move.
Do your little neck action.
Right. Somebody, nobody can't nobody. Like, girl, calm down, baby. Just move while you just steps. Right. You got a quarter of a little booty and you up at somebody can't like, girl. Calm down, baby girl. You listen, don't get me wrong, she's a beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. But just tone it down just a little bit, baby.
I'm stuck on a quarter of a little booty.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Lisa.
And KK's here too. And you're listening to Blacktivities,
a celebration of all things Black.
Black culture, Black history,
Black perspectives, and Black panache.
Celebrating our Blackness doesn't mean exclusion.
Everybody's invited, but you gotta come in and have a seat.
So let the Blacktivities begin. What's good, everybody? Let me introduce my beautiful co-host. We have Mona Lisa, repping chat all day. And we have KK, our cutie on the West Coast. And I am Shannon, Georgia born and bred. Today's episode celebrates Black music because June is Black Music Month. But we're going to take it a step further and look at Black creativity as it relates to the arts in general. But first, I want to shout out Malaron Hodge, friend of the podcast and founder and boss baddie of Baddies with Business. Baddies with Business is this episode's sponsor. It is not easy running your own business, especially if you're a Black woman. The resources might not be as readily available to you. So if you are a Black woman entrepreneur, a boss, and you're looking for support and community, then you need to get connected to this network, Baddies with Business. There's a link in the show notes to help you do that. All right. Y'all ready to get into it?
Let's go.
Okay, so here's the big facts. Black creativity has been at the heart of music, dance, art, literature, you name it. Black genius has been getting appropriated, repackaged, and profited from by others, often leaving Black creators without credit, compensation, or control over their own work. In the 1800s, white writers like Joel Chandler Harris made money off Black folktales without crediting the storytellers. Many Black stories have been written by non-Black authors who have skewed them or told them from the perspective of the white hero, I should say, instead of our Black experience. Looking at music, because you can't really talk about American music without talking about Black innovation. Blues, jazz, rock and roll, soul, hip hop, all of these genres were born from the Black experience and in a lot of cases, the struggle. But time and again, Black musicians have watched their sounds and songs get taken up by white artists in the music industry who then get all the reward. Let's take the genre of rock and roll, for example. Who was deemed the king of rock and roll? Elvis Presley. But Elvis built his career covering songs by Black artists like That's All Right, Mama, Hound Dog, and Don't Be Cruel. He got his inspiration and his moves from watching performers in the Chitlin circuit, which he did acknowledge. However, the true pioneers of rock and roll, Black artists like Chuck Berry, Little Richard, and Big Mama Thornton, got a fraction of the fame and almost none of the money. Big Mama Thornton recorded Hound Dog years before Elvis, and it was supposed to be a female empowerment song. But when Elvis's version started popping, the meaning went away, and she really didn't get much acknowledgement from being the original performer of the song. Just a side note, she did not write the song. It was actually written by two white guys, Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller.
Mm-hmm.
Otis Blackwell, a black songwriter, wrote multiple songs for Elvis, multiple hits for Elvis. But his name is rarely heard when people talk about Elvis. The Beatles, who became global superstars, started out covering black rock and roll, and they openly admitted learning from artists like Little Richard. Most of Janis Joplin's catalog includes songs written by black musicians, but her versions and her fame overshadowed those original creators. The industry often made black music more palatable, quote unquote, for white audiences, stripping away its roots and context. And in many cases, black artists were paid little or nothing while their work topped the charts in somebody else's name. The impact on black musicians has been devastating. Not only have they been denied the financial rewards of their own creativity, but the narrative of who owns these genres has been rewritten. Rock, for example, is now seen as like white music, even though it was built on black foundations. Black artists have had to fight to get credit and fair pay in an industry that often gave their work to white performers to make the money. Now, let's talk about dance. Black Americans have created some of the most influential dance styles in the world, from jazz and tap to hip hop and street dance, which would be like just a umbrella term for dances that basically originated in our hoods, like popping and locking, breaking, crumping, any of those types of things. But just like with music, these forms have been appropriated and commercialized by others. In the 1800s, white performers in blackface would mimic black dance styles on stage, mocking black culture while raking in the profits. Even today, black creators invent new moves and viral dances on places like TikTok, only to see white influencers get the credit, the followers, and the brand deals where they're making millions of dollars. The original black dancers often get left out of the spotlight, and then they don't get those opportunities to profit from their own creations. Visual art tells a similar story. So black artists and styles have been copied and used for profit by big institutions and white artists for generations. During the Harlem Renaissance, black painters and sculptors pushed American art in bold new directions, but that work was often unappreciated or outright stolen by white-run galleries and collectors. In many cases, black artists were paid very little or denied exhibition opportunities, while others got a check off their innovation and vision. The effects of this appropriation are more than just lost income, because when black art is taken out of its original context, oftentimes the meaning gets distorted or erased, because the meaning was about our experience and our struggle. And so that gets kind of erased. So songs that spoke to black empowerment or struggle get stripped of that message. Dance styles that grow out of black joy and resilience get turned into empty trends. Visual art that reflects black life and history gets rebranded to fit somebody else's narrative. So for black creators, it's a constant battle, not just for recognition and fair pay, but for the right to tell our own stories and control our own legacies and narratives. It means seeing your culture celebrated, but not being celebrated yourself. It means watching others profit from your pain, your joy, your genius, while you fight to be seen and heard. As the saying goes, they want our rhythm, but not our blues. Despite all this, black creativity has never stopped shaping American culture. Black musicians, dancers, and artists continue to innovate, inspire, and break barriers. But the history of appropriation is a reminder. True appreciation means giving credit, sharing opportunities, and respecting the roots of the art. Without that, it's just exploitation. And that is the big facts.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Right. Yeah. It's just amazing the amount of things that are stolen from creative African Americans. One thing that I do want to focus on, or I want to draw attention to, is a lot of people aren't aware of Pablo Picasso and his whole situation where he said, how did he put it? Good artists borrow, but great artists steal. And he said that because some of the paintings that he was known for, with the artistic face and, the things not matching, he got the inspiration from African mask. Yeah, so a lot of people aren't aware of that. Something else I think is crazy, and this is just, again, where Black people, we're creatives. We come up with, we also create things as well. But Jack Daniels, the liquor, Jack Daniels, that whole recipe, it originated from Nearest Green, who
Uncle Nearest.
Yep, Uncle Nearest. He was, I think his family had the first actual master who was able to go through and, come up with the recipes for alcohol that way. And Jack Daniels just used him, and he didn't get paid nothing. They just used him and used that, what he came up with, and came up with Jack Daniels. So here it is, this whiskey distiller that just decided that, hey, this is what we have, and people not knowing that this was stolen, and they didn't even come up with it. So it's a lot of things out there that people don't get credit for. Another thing too I want to bring up, I watched the Nilly Vanilli movie for the first time. That movie that came out not too long ago. And
the documentary, it was good. He can really sing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the thing about it though is, growing up a kid, I was on that girl, it's true, but I didn't know that the actual people, the people that sung the song, they were Black. The all of them, the backup, everybody was Black, and there was parts in the movie where they come on, man, why we gotta keep doing this? What the heck? And they were like, okay, we'll just give you more money. We just need you to do this one, do this song. So it was just crazy, that whole roundabout of how it happened. But Black culture, Black creatives, yeah, you should. But there's always something underlying somewhere where people are, not paid what they came up with.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and I think, we have to, I really do think we should gatekeep the things that we invent, because we are creatives, we are creators, and have never been given the credit for the work, our input, our contributions in the way that it should have been. We now know about Sister Rosetta Tharpe, and, how she is the inventor of rock and roll. She was the grandmother, or whatever they call her, but she gave birth to it. And I do think, whether it's hip hop or whatever, we need to gatekeep. And I think that there is room, yes, for cultural exchange. Absolutely there is. But we need to benefit from what we've created. We need to benefit financially. We need to benefit in terms of credit and all of that. When I was thinking about the whole breakdancing thing, look, we know who knows how to break dance. We already know. And the fact that it became...
I'm sorry, KK. I have to get into the mic. KK, baby, I'm sorry. When you said that, I just thought about an old lady at the Olympics. Baby, I'm sorry. I ain't mean to cut you
point at the end.
Yeah. She said I ate it up. You couldn't tell her nothing. person she was battling against, they were so confused. They was just like, wait a minute. What's this? Like, what is going on? And she was all on the ground. Hey, I say her ultimate, like her inspiration for that dance number was toddler having a temper tantrum.
I would have to agree. That has
bless
to be
her heart. Yeah. It was the outfit for me. She ordered off Amazon.
The whole outfit, the matching hat, and doing all the hip hop moves. I mean, that was the funniest thing ever. And it was funny, but it was also disturbing because it's like people that came up back then, I know some of them was like, what the hell is going on?
Because like, how did you get your job?
Yeah, how did this become, how did what we created become this thing? That's Olympics. And immediately after that was over, they was like, there will be no more breakdancing in the Olympics.
And that's not fair. And that's not fair because there are a lot of talented people of different ethnicities. Because let me tell you something. Some of the Asian people, baby, I have seen them get down. Do you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
for sure.
Yeah. They get down. Like, they do their stuff.
That happening the way it did and us not having any sort of voice in that speaks volumes to why it's necessary to gatekeep the things we create. Like whether it's poems or whatever, we need to gatekeep the things we create. So even if you had to do a poor man's copyright for your poetry, do it. Whatever it takes, whatever you create that comes with your sweat equity, we need to gatekeep that stuff. We need to do it individually and collectively as a culture.
Right.
Have y'all ever had your work appropriated or stolen? I was just curious.
At work one time. No, I'm just playing. I'm kidding, guys. Me personally, no.
I have not had anybody. I've had people try to co-opt my lines that I've created. Or if I know that they're going to use it, I'll be like, I'll give you that one. You can have that one. And I say it outright, like it's mine, but I'm giving it to you to have. I did have someone, I was doing a speech, and part of it was a piece. I added a piece to that. And this lady was like, do you have copies of that? Can I have copies? And my name was on there with the copyright information. And I was like, this is copywritten. So don't try to, co-opt my stuff. And, but you literally have to say that to people because the ethics are not there. And we live in this world of, people not really caring in the way that they should. Not saying that this didn't happen to Uncle Nearest or whatever back then, but it still continues to today. So you have to watch that. That's why I say whether people like the term gatekeeping or not, we need to own our stuff. We need to own it. And we need to stand on what we believe in terms of our work and its value.
I agree with you totally. I also want to add in, like, I respect that we're all creatives. Everybody has something special about them, but all money ain't good money. All money ain't good money because the things that you do in your creativeness, like, we need as much as possible to make sure that what we have, our DNA, like, that gatekeeping is important. And we can't just be out there just doing it just for a little quick, but it doesn't last. It won't last as long. It won't have that same value and worth when we go about it in that direction. Yeah.
I think I stole.
Dang, that's a way to start out. Hold on.
I think I stole Mariah Carey's Visions of Love hairstyle.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You did not.
I see it a little bit. I see it a little bit.
Go look at that cover.
Yeah, I'm dead. We just need you some blue jean shorts and a butterfly ring, and you good to go.
You good to go.
You good to go. I think when I'm with certain creatives and other spoken word and poets that I do encounter, sometimes they may say like a clever line or something that was just witty. And if I want to use it, I'll ask permission, or I'll find a clever way of coming up with the line to where I'm saying their name, like I'm mentioning them. Like I'll get down and dirty, like, and then I'll say their name and then say the line, and then I'll be like, "Ooh, then that's the good inspiration." Like I'll find some type of way to include it to where I'm making sure they know where it comes from. And then obviously beforehand, let the person know. I haven't had anybody yet be like, absolutely not. They be like, oh my God, that is. I'm like, yeah, do it. So I don't know. It's a way of doing it.
Black women face a number of challenges when building and running a business. And sometimes it's nice to have a community of people who share the same challenges. Baddies with Business is a national network that supports Black women entrepreneurs in years 0 through 5 through storytelling via their podcast, community building, in person and online, and access to social capital. In the show notes, you'll find a link to connect with other Black women in the Baddies with Business community. Join Baddies with Business online today by clicking the link in the show notes.
I will say this. Where I'm at, they don't play. Whenever we're on the mic, they don't play. They will seriously call a person out on the mic. We will call you. We will check you. And because you can't steal people's creative or intellectual property. So we ain't having it. I like your idea of, I'm going to give you credit live and in person. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you credit right now. That's an amazing way to do it and show love. Mm-hmm. You know,
I even have this one piece that I'm known for. It's called Reply to Apply Pressure. And I get a lot of people asking me to perform that piece, but I always open up letting them know that it's a reply. It's a reply to an original piece called Apply Pressure from a poet named Poetic Nightmare. This young man is amazing. And whenever I know that I'm going to perform it, I like to hit him up and be like, hey, yo, what you doing? That way I can shout him out. And I don't know, it's just something about building that bond or whatever. He has no problem. He's like, yeah, go ahead. And I make sure people know that, like, where it comes from, where it originates from, and go from there. I can say that right there, I don't hear other people's line as you being used by other poets. Like, that's a good respect, you know, in Tennessee where I do a majority of my shows. But yeah, I haven't experienced that. That's going to be crazy if I ever do go. That's wild.
I would say I'm not a poet like you guys, but I just started kind of sharing myself with the world. So,
Okay.
So I was thinking about this, like, for example, you know, we created hip hop, but there are a lot of like other races and ethnicities who have jumped into that. There are a lot of great white rappers out there. Like, does that mean that they're appropriating it? Like,
I don't want to. I see. That's where it's kind of tricky, because I don't want to say that like they're appropriating it. I guess it matters what they're delivering and what they're actually doing. You know, because again, you can't. It's the word inspiration. People can get inspired by different things, and it's also the way that they present it. So I don't take people like the. And I want to be careful with this. If there is a Caucasian rapper or that's really big into hip hop, and I look at the way he is, like I I would have a hard time with the mentality that I have now, and I look at Paul Wall the way he was back then with the grill and all of that. I would have an issue now versus back then. I was oblivious to it because you could present it, you could have your own way, and still be you. Like, what's the dude that had his own show? He is really Dickie. Oh, y'all know who Dickie is, right? Lil Dickie. He is just his own Jewish self. Yes. And see, that would be wrong to say it's appropriation because he's still himself, but his delivery and the way he is, and he could just come off like I've seen him just off live, just open mic, just go. I don't want to just say that, yeah, it's appropriation for everybody because there's also some, again, Asian, the Japanese, and there are some Chinese people that are amazing. My mom, we took a road trip yesterday to Atlanta and she put this lady on and she's just like, oh yeah, she's Chinese. And I'm sitting here listening. You would have thought that it was freaking Jasmine Sullivan, the way her voice was, you know? So again, it's the inspiration. Like, who are we to take that from them? That's just me.
So is it about like acknowledging that these people inspired you to do whatever it is that you're doing?
Yes. Okay. Yes. In my opinion, yes, it is. Don't come out there like you just da-da-da-da-da, but and again, with Paul Wall, again, like this is a different way. Like right now, how he is, like his wife's Black. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to take that from him. Again, it's just the inspiration. It's just everything. But again, it's how you present it.
Same thing with John B. John B is the same. He's just himself, you know, and so the respect is there. I think that plays a big part. The respect being there for the art. And then when you think about, because I remember they started calling out Bruno Mars and Bruno Mars was like, hold on.
That is right.
I take no credit for this. Black folks invented music. Let's come with it. You know what I mean? So he gave credit and, you know, he's got his own style that it mimics a lot of R&B and, you know, funk and all of that, but it's honoring. And I think that is what makes the difference, that somebody is saying, you know, I don't own this. I love it. And so here's my homage to it.
Right. And when it's like that, we take it more serious because we're actually we're not looking at the appropriation. That's out of our mind. We're looking at, okay, you were inspired. Let's see what you got. And then each time they come with that fire and you respect it more because of your delivery. Now, another perfect example of what I'm saying now, what you're not really sure, is Tom Hanks' other son when he was trying to be a rapper for a little bit. He handsome and everything. Yeah, he handsome. Look at KK. He handsome, but baby, your mom and daddy, you was not raised in the streets in the hood. Come on now. Go ahead, KK.
So
what you finna say? If he wasn't
trying to like
just be yourself.
Jamaican, if he wasn't trying to do all that, but he was rapping, it would be fine. That's what you're saying?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Because he was like talking with the accent, like he had an accent. Thinking. Yeah, she think, come on with it. Because he was talking with an accent and everything. Baby, that's not it. That is not it. But go ahead. No. Let's go. Come on.
I don't know if this is the same person. But if it's the Tom Hanks son that I'm thinking about, he is an entitled, privileged, racist jackass.
It's the same one. He only has 2 sons, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, Chet, and then the other one that's an actor.
It would be Chet.
Yeah. I'm going to look it up then. Because, all of that. And then he's just he's
made some very controversial statements. And he don't even qualify as being somebody who is well respected.
Right.
And culturally aware or sensitive at all.
Yeah, it is Chet. Yeah, it's Chet.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, that I have no comment about him. He's
Oh,
not
wait
even
a minute.
worth my energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
So, but I do see people who love our culture, who honor our culture and are respectful. My thing is, I think that's all good, but how come you can get paid and the person who invented it or created it can't? That's what I have a problem with. And I go back to the example that Tank gave, that, all of these Black R&B artists are out here. They have the talent, they have the gift, decades later, even many of them, but they, don't want us to be the face of R&B when we are the face of R&B, when we are the person behind the curtain for everything. We are. So, and Tank, if you ever see that video of him talking about it on a podcast, he makes a brilliant and amazing point. Like, this is what's happening. People can't get contracts out here because you want the representation to look different from the originators. And that's our fault for loving it and just wanting to do it instead of thinking of it from a business perspective. Mm-hmm. I hope now everything we invent or create, we come with a business angle to it from here on out, and we begin just creating generational wealth. I speak that into existence right now.
Yes.
So that's kind of what I was going to ask next. Like, what needs to happen? What can we do so that Black creators are getting their due?
Is it strange for me to say that? I mean, this is just I don't see, this just happened. This is just it. This is something that we just accepted because we can ask all day long for rights and to be fair and all of this. It just comes with the territory.
It just is what it is. That's what you're saying.
It is what it is. Yeah. Like, it's hard. This is like a repetitive thing that's always happening, and no matter what we do, they gonna turn it around and they're gonna say, oh, well, it's not yours, or they'll come up with something, and it just comes with the territory.
Well, and that's part of the controversy surrounding Janelle Sindab and that dance, that song and dance that she's doing that the Black girl invented, and then she took it, and it was really for a line dance, but she took it, and they're trying to say this Black girl invented this line dance, and she's the one who's getting paid, they say $6,000 per show. I'm not sure, but yeah, right. Her and them dusty, musty boots. That's what they call it.
She do look dusty. You know what? She's a beautiful, beautiful girl. Beautiful. But baby, you up here talking about something. Can't nobody elf with you and all the girl, calm down. Baby, just do your little dance and move.
Do your little neck action.
Right. Somebody, can't nobody. Like, girl, calm down, baby. Just move. Right. You got a quarter of a little booty, and you up at somebody can't like, girl. Calm down, baby girl. You listen. Don't get me wrong. She's a beautiful girl, but just tone it down just a little bit, baby.
I'm stuck on a quarter of a little booty. Oh my God. I'm trying to contain myself.
I'm sorry, but come on.
It's so funny to me. Yeah. But yeah.
I bet she got ankle socks on with them boots.
That she walk around with all day.
Right. They just is dirty at the bottom.
Let's not, because I'm sorry. Got into the whole washing legs thing and all.
Okay, that. No, let's don't. But just again, it's about delivery. It's about delivery, right? and how you I ain't gonna take that away from her. She getting that money. She getting that bag. But come on, man.
Well,
a
we
whole
know
direction.
we know how and why the dance was created the way it was. It was created as a line dance, so it's subtle. The goal is the moves are so that everybody can do it, right? But
Right.
she took it and did something else with it. And I think the issue that people are having is not that she can do the dance, but the issue is not acknowledging
Where it came
somehow
from. Yeah.
where it came from.
But in her defense,
Because
though,
if everybody can quote you for saying, well, you can't F with me, they should be able to quote and be like, I got this from so-and-so. You could do that, put that same energy into acknowledgement. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. You that's fine. But I just, I think she should just try to find some type of way. Because, like, is there any way? Is she even like? Does she even speak or do anything, or they just play the music? She get on stage and then start gyrating.
But to me, like,
no, it's a general question. No, it's a real question.
I'm not that plugged in, so I don't even. I haven't even seen her.
I ain't never seen her talk. I always just see her just on the like. She'll have on them little baby doll like little shorts. Like the little bloomers that our babies used to wear when they were little, up under their dress, she'll have them on. And some boots.
But even if she did acknowledge the Black creator, do you think that it still would have worked out the way that it is now? She would still got these jobs, the notoriety.
But it's two different things, though, because it's her version and the originator's version. So if she acknowledged the girl, then maybe the girl... Maybe they could be on a stage together, or maybe.
But didn't they though? But didn't they do that though one time?
I don't know.
I think so.
But maybe she could get some gigs herself. You see what I'm saying? If I acknowledge, like I tell people all the time, I'm on a podcast. I don't do the production piece. Shannon got that part. Right. I am not able to do it, and so. I don't take credit for what I don't create.
Exactly.
But if somebody said, who is the person you said did the production, then I could point them in your direction because I tell them. And so I think that's the same energy of you can't, all of that. The same amount of energy could go into that. And I think the originator could also get some work off of what she created. Right. That's all
I also look at it like it too. Like you contribute to, or you go and, okay, how about this? You go and you buy tickets and you go see somebody that you relate to or that you like, right? You pay attention to how the decisions that they make and what type of person that they are, whatever, like that can't be avoided, right? So if you know for a fact that this person has done this, why buy and contribute and help them? You know what I'm saying? Like when you know how they get down. Because she didn't even acknowledge. She don't acknowledge. She don't care. She's just doing it. So if, like, why buy tickets? Why go see?
So maybe that speaks to the question that I asked, what needs to happen or what can we do so that Black creators are getting what they're owed. Don't support those people who are taking the stuff.
Right.
And not giving credit.
And then too, Mo, I've seen in the comments when people are talking about it, they be like, it's not that serious. It's not that serious until it happens to you.
That's what I was going to say. It's not that serious because it's not your work. But let somebody take your work and pass it up as their own.
Right.
Then it gets serious.
Yeah. Then it's problematic. You know, it's like if you, I remember having a conversation with somebody who had put a training together, syllabus and everything that went along with the training. And basically they were saying that somebody came in and tried to take their work. And so if you're going to in order to put it in context, Put it in the context of what you do, of what you're responsible for, of what you put your sweat equity into. And that is a different lens. It's a different way of framing it. So, think of it as a training. Think of it as a PowerPoint presentation. Think of it as something else. Not just song and dance. It happens in the business world all the time.
It does.
It happens in the business world,
right,
where people take your work, your intellectual property, and pass it off as their own, pass off ideas as their own. So we are not just creative when it comes to arts and entertainment. And that's, there are inventors who have also had their things taken, or not been given credit for the things that they've created that help us function better. Even when it came to like it's art and entertainment, but like the movie The Matrix, that was a Black woman who created that.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's, you could think of it in terms of arts and entertainment. You could think of it as technology. There are technological things. There was something I saw recently about somebody who created some technology or some science and all of those things. Like, we are creative. And I believe our experience here in America has caused us to be more creative. And because we've had to find other ways to do it. What way can you come up to do the thing that needs to get done? Yeah. Expeditiously. How do we do it? Shout out to T.I. Expeditiously for making that one popular. But expediting something and enhancing it or whatever. We are creative in doing that, and we have made ghetto or poverty and all these things because of who we are. We make it look good. So everybody wants a piece of what we make look good. We make wealth look good. We make struggle look good.
Exactly.
Good. And so as a result of us making it look good, everybody wants a piece of it. And that's where we run into this. And so we need to, I'll just do my call to action now. We need to own everything that we come up with that makes our existence and the existence of everybody surrounding us look better and actually be better. We need to own it. We need to gatekeep it. We need to monetize it. We need to capitalize off of our sweat equity, our blood, sweat, and tears.
Right. Okay.
Absolutely. I think that is a great place to stop and do Lisa's pieces.
Okay. Are you inspired? The coils in my hair, I find a nuisance, but yet you see trendy. The hump on my back quite often hurts, but you pay thousands to resemble. Far from offended, but far from opposed, but baby, it's so close, so I'll just say, it's safe to assume with or without the dunk on the trunk, 808s of cultural influence, compliment me or not, I just want to ask, baby, are you inspired? Thank you.
I love that. If you are in chat, you need to go out and see Lisa perform.
Let me tell y'all, I have so many events coming up. This was crazy. I did one event I'm gonna shout out the Bohemian Village in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Silas Luster, him and his cousin, actually, they created this dope cafe type spot. Every Friday they have spoken word, and of course they make me get in there as often as I can. And I did one show and it was packed, and ever since then I have been getting hit up from different people. So my summer is really about to be booked and busy. Do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so it's one thing of being a creative, but it's another getting paid for what you love to do.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so I can't say no. I just been accepting it from left to right. I also got asked to be on a panel talking about love and long relationships and possibly what could be, the conflict or why they don't last. And I have my theories, and found out today on a call before this happened. I was on a call with the guy that was doing it, and my ex-husband's going to be on a panel as well. So no. This is actually good because this is talking about. We have that. We're able to talk about stuff. So
okay, that's good.
I'm hoping the positivity of being able to have that discussion and addressing matters that that do occur, and how you could potentially overcome them coming from people that had the issue. Just giving somebody else to think about that could contribute to someone who is there and assist them with having that lasting relationship. So, it's I love what I do. I love being a Black creative. It is so worth it. And I'm gonna say it again: poetry saved my life, baby.
Amen.
It did.
Yep. Ashe, indeed.
One day we're going to do a live Blacktivities.
Yes,
I'm going to say it, put it out there now.
Yeah. I've been thinking about slowly trying to transition down to Atlanta. I'm going to start going to the open mics there.
Oh, yeah.
And just see. That's what I'm going to start doing. Because I've been there. Yeah, I've been there. I actually want to shout out Jody Harris. Many, many years ago, I was living in New York, and I came home one summer to see my best friend, and we were in Atlanta, and we met up with Jody Harris, who is an amazing artist, okay? I don't know if y'all ever saw my Lauryn Hill mural that I have. He painted that. But we was there, and he was just like, what y'all want to do? I was just like, just anything. He's like, hey, I know this. Let me take you to this little poetry spot. And I'm sitting here like, poetry? And of course, you thinking like Love Jones, like it was the atmosphere. And I mean, walking in, at first it felt like a little nightclub, but then everybody would stop, and then it was like open mic. People get up there, and then it was just amazing. It felt like I was home, and I had never been in that place. And then I just started writing small stuff here and there. It took me years. To finally get on the stage and perform. But when I did, oh my gosh, it was just like, this is it. People can be, I go to work, people be disrespectful. I just look at them like, I write about it. I go and about my business. Whereas before I'd be all worked up like, oh, I got to talk about it. I don't know that. I just look at them like, you're getting wrote about later. And then I go about my business. But I'm telling you, it is. It's amazing. It's a whole new world. And I love it.
All right. Well, KK already gave us her call to action for the culture. Lisa, what is your call to action?
I agree with her, like owning, understanding, like just break down, do your research. You know me, I'm big on research. Do your research when it comes to copywriting and the gatekeeping. I mean, I know we want to put everybody on and we want to share and all this other, but baby, sometimes, again, you got to think about yourself. We need this creativity in the world. So just do that research.
Put us on.
Yeah.
Support other Black podcasts or whatever.
Yeah.
Like put our people on who are in the same genre.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go in a little bit of a different direction.
Okay.
But this could really, it applies to the culture, but it could really apply to anybody. I'm calling people to go back to integrity. Because I feel like that is a big issue. Like people are lacking integrity a lot. So plain and simple, that's my call.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this episode, click that plus in Apple Podcast or that subscribe button in YouTube to make sure you keep getting these episodes. We love to hear what you love about the show. So let us know in the comments and in your 5-star reviews. Thank you to our sponsor, Baddies with Business. So glad we could collab with you. If you're a Black woman and a boss, find that link in our show notes and get connected with this organization. I keep telling Maleron that I'm going to make it to one of their baddie retreats once I get my coins together, but I've been broke for some time. So,
right.
Yeah, the retreats look amazing. So one day I'm going to get my coins together and I'm going to go. Yes.
That could be a field trip. That could be a field trip for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check the show notes and link up with Baddies with Business. But until we meet again,
King and queens keep doing big things. Let's go.